A Chanel Classic flap cost $5,800 in 2019. Today, $11,300. Same bag, same leather. But sales are down for the first time in 5 years. Meanwhile, Gucci closed 25 stores after a 25% sales collapse. Louis Vuitton resale prices crashed 20%. And brands printing money 3 years ago are now begging Gen Z to care. The luxury crash of 2024-2025 separated pretenders from icons, and rich women know the difference. Today, I'm ranking the 10 brands they'll still wear in 2026, from barely surviving to absolutely untouchable. Number 1 isn't just thriving, it never even played the game everyone else lost. Gucci, the freefall spectacular. Alessandro Michele turned Gucci into a maximalist playground from 2015 to 2022. The Gigi Marmont, Dionysus, Ace sneakers, cultural moments that made Gucci the brand for bold luxury. Then Michele exits in 2022. Sabato De Sarno arrives with a minimalist reset nobody asked for. By 2025, he's out, Demna's in. 3 creative directors in 3 years. Q1 2025 sales, down 25%. Carrying stock, down 60%. Boutiques went from packed to ghost towns. Here's the paradox. Vintage Michele-era Gucci thrives on resale platforms, ranking number 4 for resale value. But new Gucci? Clearance rack energy. When your secondhand sales outperform retail, you're not a luxury brand anymore. You're a nostalgia brand. Rich women in 2026 will wear vintage Gucci as proof they knew when it was good. New Gucci? That's for people who still think the logo means something. Louis Vuitton. The McDonald's problem. Marc Jacobs made Louis Vuitton culture. Virgil Abloh made it a phenomenon. The LV monogram was the global passport, recognized everywhere, desired by everyone. Then omnipresence became the problem. You saw LV on the subway and the yacht, at the airport and the fake markets. When your logo appears on as many counterfeits as real bags, what are you selling? LVMH pushed price hikes up to 4% in 2024 while quality stayed flat. The $200 canvas for $2,000 perception solidified. Fashion and leather division down 9% in Q2 2025. Resale prices fell 20%, compared to Hermès down just 10%. Analysts openly asked, what does Louis Vuitton even stand for? Louis Vuitton became the luxury equivalent of McDonald's. Everywhere. Reliable. But where's the magic? Rich women in 2026 will carry vintage trunks and archival pieces, things that remind them when the brand meant craft, not commerce. Prada, little sister syndrome Miuccia. Prada ruled from 1978 to 2020 with intellectual, subversive luxury. The 1984 nylon backpack was anti-luxury luxury that became iconic. 2020. Raf Simons joins as co-creative director. Suddenly 2 visions compete. Is Prada minimalist or maximalist? Sporty or cerebral? Meanwhile, little sister Miu Miu, led solely by Miuccia, became the breakout star. Prada brand revenue Q3 2025, down 0.8%. Miu Miu same quarter, up 40%. The main brand is the anchor dragging down the group. There's nothing sadder than the older sibling, watching the younger one steal the spotlight. Rich women will wear Prada re-nylon pieces in 2026, but they'll be wishing they were wearing Miu Miu. Chanel. The greedflation revolt. Karl Lagerfeld's reign was pure alchemy. The classic flap was an investment vehicle with better returns than the S&P 500. Karl dies. Virginie Viard takes over as placeholder. Then came greedflation. Chanel doubled prices in 6 years without improving quality. The medium flap went from $5,800 in 2019 to $11,300 by August 2025. Viral TikToks exposed glue failures, stitching disasters, leather quality drops on 5-figure bags. Tooth 24 sales, down 4.3%, first decline since 2020. Operating profit fell 30%. They hired Mathieu Blazy as a Hail Mary. Chanel assumed loyalty was infinite. They were wrong. Rich women in 2026 will wear their mother's vintage Chanel, not $11,000 new bags held together with hope and branding. Loewe. The orphaned genius Jonathan Anderson transformed Loewe from sleepy Spanish leather house to artisan cool starting in 2013. In 2024, Loewe briefly hit number 1 on the list index. March 2025, Anderson leaves for Dior. Louise Trotter and Stella Jones take over, an unproven duo inheriting a white-hot brand. The worry? Great director leaves, momentum evaporates. The puzzle bag tripled sales over 3 years, but early reviews of post-Anderson collections are polite but skeptical. Loewe is the restaurant where the celebrity chef left. The food is still good, but is it the same? Rich women will wear their Anderson-era Loewe like vintage Supreme, proof they were there when it mattered. Notice the pattern? 5 brands down, and every single one made the same mistake. They confused visibility with value. Gucci, LV, Prada, Chanel, Loewe. They chased growth, hype, accessibility. Logo everywhere, stores everywhere, influencers everywhere. But luxury dies the moment everyone can have it. The brands still standing in 2026? They protected scarcity like oxygen. The top 5? Proof that in luxury, invisibility is power. If you're deep into this breakdown and want to understand not just what rich women buy, but why status symbols work, hit subscribe. This channel breaks down wealth, taste, and the psychology behind luxury. MIU, peak hype gravity. The Miu Miu moment was real. Micro mini skirts, the Arcady bag, ballet flats, list index number 1 for 6 consecutive quarters. Sales doubled in Q3 2024, but peak hype is a ticking time bomb. Q2 2025, Miu Miu dropped to number 2. Growth decelerated from 93% in H1 2024 to 40% in H1 2025. The Micro Mini went viral. Now what? Where's the next hype piece? Can you stay cool at 1-1? Rich women in 2026 will absolutely wear Miu Miu, the Arcade, the ballet flats, but they'll be hunting vintage, not lining up for what comes next. The Row, the quiet luxury paradox. The Olsen twins launched the Row in 2011 as the ultimate insider secret. $4,000 t-shirts validated by obsessive craftsmanship. No logos, IYKYK luxury. The paradox. The Row succeeded so hard it became known. Q2 2025, jumped to number 6 on list index. The Dune flip-flop search surged 162%. The Margot bag resells 15 to 30% above retail. The secret's out. Fashion insiders openly worried. When the Row is top 10 on list, it's not a secret anymore. Rich women will absolutely wear it in 2026, but the magic was never the clothes. It was the knowing. And now, everyone knows. Bottega Veneta, the survivor. Daniel Lee made When You Know the rallying cry. The pouch, cassette, Jody, instant classics without a single logo. Then the creative director carousel, Lee exits, Matthew Blasey arrives, Louise Trotter takes over. 3 directors in 6 years. But Bottega is holding. Q1 2025 retail, up 7% while Gucci fell 25%. The Andiamo bag saw 304% demand increase. Bottega ranked number 3 most viewed show spring 2026. Bottega survives because the craft matters more than the creator. The Intrecciato weave doesn't care who's creative director. It's technique, not trend. Rich women will wear Bottega because you can still see the artisan's hand in every stitch. Loro Piana, the awareness paradox. Loro Piana spent nearly a century as the ultimate insider secret. $800 t-shirts, $4,000 cashmere, fabric so expensive they make billionaires pause. Then Succession made it visible. Suddenly aspirational shoppers knew the name. The L19 bag went viral. LVMH pushed growth. 171 stores now, up from 2 in 1998. Once everyone knows your secret, is it still a secret? Succession-era buyers treat it like flex, not fabric investment. Can a brand stay exclusive when it's no longer obscure? Rich women will absolutely wear it, the cashmere, the $21,000 coats. But the nod from another Loro Piana wearer used to mean you're in the club. Now it might just mean you watched Succession. Hermès, the gold standard? Hermès is the peak. While competitors collapsed, Hermès grew 7% in H1 2025. While LVMH fell 5% and Kering fell 14%, Hermès stayed flat in a crashing market. That's a massive win. The Birkin 35 Cellier retains 250% of retail value, up from 198% in 2023. Resale prices up $900 year over year. Men's Birkin searches up 235%. During the luxury crash, Hermès resale dropped only 10%, compared to Chanel at 9%, LV at 20%, Gucci at 17%. Hermès isn't number one because it's the best brand. It's number one because it never played the game everyone else lost. No creative director musical chairs, no logo overexposure, no trend chasing, no greedflation, just steady price increases backed by actual quality. They never tried to be hottest on list, never flooded Instagram, never hired a Gen Z creative director for a refresh. They just made the same bags, better, slower, scarcer. Rich women in 2026 will wear Hermès for the same reason their mothers wore it in 1986, because everything else is a gamble and a Birkin is a sure thing. The luxury crash taught us one lesson: visibility kills value. The brands rich women still wear in 2026 survived because they never forgot. Scarcity is sacred, craft beats hype, and a whisper will always outperform a shout. The question is, which brands will remember that by 2027? If this changed how you see luxury, hit subscribe for more deep dives into status, wealth, and why people buy what they buy. Drop a comment. Which brand shocked you most? Let's talk.